tell people that all the time. They think I be crazy. I ain't coming back here. I just do it with them dogs. You ain't got nothing to worry about unless you on bullshit.
If you worried about it, what's the problem? The problem is
All I'm
you, sir.
saying.
The problem is you, sir. So okay, so we get into all this business about the Titarian societies, the everything being west of Rome, which is interesting that you said that. And I always say, like, when I go into South America, I always found it interesting. And I wanted to ask you that. You know, it's interesting. They always say that Rome died, it collapsed, it was burned down. But when I go to South America, all of the Romans are there. It's all Italians. It's all Romans there in Argentina, in Brazil, in Venezuela, in Chile. They're all Uruguay, Paraguay. It's all Italians. And they don't tell you that when you're in North America, but when you go over, you're like, oh, where are the Portuguese? Why do the
Well,
Italians outnumber them?
yeah, but it's the same as when you go to Mexico and there's some Spaniards there that you think native
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they ain't native. And you
No.
got Asians there that you think is Mexican,
Oh no, then yeah. That's a
you
yeah.
know. They there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But see, we be forgetting the God's crucible, one drop of blood make you one of us. This is why everybody want to marry into the bloodline,
Right now.
you know. And so this is what the whole purpose of the Great Migration to the Americas under the Discovery Doctrine was about. You froze, Flowburn. I don't know if you know it. Can you hear me?
Or is it me? Did I tap
Yeah,
out or you? It
you
was
had
me,
froze
right?
for a minute.
It was me. Okay. Um, I know you have a different take on the National Guards, but I would like to hear your take because I know people are telling me, but I want to hear your take on the National Guards being distributed because at first they were distributed in DC. Now, I don't even think it's DC anymore. I'm going to ask you that question as well. Is the DC taken off of Washington? Because I heard word on the curb, Rod, is that they took the DC off of Washington. So I'm going to ask you that and then ask you what your take is on why it's in 19 states and what reasoning that's for.
Okay, so um, Washington is Washington DA, the District of America.
Okay. Oh,
Okay, now remember all roads lead to Rome. Before it was
yes.
Washington D.C., it was Rome,
Yes.
right? Okay, now to overthrow Rome, you have to overthrow Washington D.C. Admiralty jurisdiction.
Interesting.
Okay, now in order to give it back to the tribes, you have to go back through the different stages of government that took you away from the tribal standard, what we call the law of the land.
So we're receding. That's what you're saying. We're receding.
Right. It's the return. So the republic has to overthrow the corporate legal fiction.
Snap.
District of Columbia was the legal fiction that was created with the secondary constitution that was written in the blood of Crispus Attucks. That was the 200-year conjure. The constitution that establishes DC is in the George Washington Masonic Memorial, and the blood is fading now, along with the feathers of the dirty Moors that came over here.
Yeah.
The chiefs that they was up against is in a mural. The mural is pointing is it's a painting of Carlos V, and it got the Inca chiefs on there. Inca mean people in
Yeah.
English,
Yes.
right? So it's got the chief of the people of the land, right? Carlos V is on there because he was the one who was wagering the bet with King George of whose side would prevail after the 200 years of miseducation and misdirection of who we were. Carlos V believed that it would be the chiefs of the land. King George representing the 32-degree Scottish Rite believe that his boys was untouchable in this game that they playing. Everybody got amnesia. Let's see who could figure it out from a place of pure ignorance. And so all of the representation is in place to play the great game. It's a chess game, fifth dimensional chess, played in a three-dimensional reality, right? And it's to control the systems: economics, education, entertainment, labor law, politics, religion, sex, war, and health. Health is the common denominator, because don't none of the rest of them have any value if you don't have good health.
That's right.
Right? So health is the common denominator to all 9 areas of people activity as described by Dr. Neely Fuller in his United Independent Compensatory Code System for breaking the chains of white supremacy. So when he give you the outline of the 9 areas of people activity, then I tell you health is the common denominator to them all. That's 10 areas of people activity, which is equivalent to the 10 Buddhist scrolls in the Journey to the West. The challenge to Lord Hanuman, aka Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. So to come to the West to find out what's the cause of the oppression, you have to first reach the heights of wisdom. You have to escape the Buddhist palm, also known as the Hamsa palm.
Yes.
Right, which has the all-seeing eye of protection in the center, as well as the Buddhist foot.
That's right.
Right. In the African tradition, you use it to fight off something called the Mingi. Mingi is the evil eye.
Yes.
The evil eye is the one who's wishing bad on you while you trying to do what's right.
Giving you that side eye.
Yeah. So when we come full circle, all of the myths of the world converge on America at this particular time and era to recover us from the amnesia and to inspire us to use independent thought and believe in the power of the self to overcome the weaknesses of the ego.
Question. It's interesting your take on what's occurring, and I resonate with it. Do you think, because there's a interdimensional or galactic aspect that's on the back lay, do you think treaties, or not treaties, there were things that are being done now that have to do with the presence that is now coming online, and things are being like people's VIP passes are being revoked, things are being reestablished, things are being revisited because of that presence?
100%. So you gotta upset the justice sometimes to establish peace. Yeah. You gotta break people out of the norm in order to establish a new norm. They gave us a norm that was destructive to who we were. Yes. We just have to return back to who we were and override their systems.
Interesting.
The system override is you embracing your sovereign capacity to not be anybody's servant, slave, etc.
When they speak about ancient Kemet, or the colonized name of Egypt, and its placement of being in northern Africa, Do you think that's like a bait and switch? Because I feel, you know how I feel. I feel like United Fakes, as we see it today, is the center point, is ground zero of consciousness and of the ancient world. I actually think it is the ancient world of Kemet.
Well, America goes back further than Kemet. Kemet is like it's a military outpost of America that was
Yes.
put in place by Tahuti. You can read about it in the Emerald Tablets,
Okay.
right? He came from America, went over there and settled Kemet.
Mm-hmm.
And all
Ancient
of
Sumer.
the writings in Kemet say it was established by Tahuti.
So we're going as far as ancient Sumer, right?
Nope. Sumer is the cause of them setting it up, right? Because
Oh,
that's when Enlil's children start coming in to take over Earth. Enki
interesting.
tells Tahuti, who his dwelling place is the Americas, was taking place, and asks him to build a military outpost to overlook what's being built in Sumer.
Interesting.
But first, he had to subdue the locals,
Mhm.
right? So when he go through that, he used high technology that they perceived as a superpower,
Yes. Yeah.
right? So while they watching Sumer, because you got to remember this is where all of the um, Babylonian corruption emerged from,
Mhm.
right? So before that, it was under the rule of Ahura Mazda, which is Enki. Thus spoke Zarathustra. Zarathustra is another name for Mazda, is Enki, the wise one. Right. So now the Anunnaki's contract on Earth concludes a 6,000 year contract. That's why they say the devil has 6,000 years to rule. Devil mean enemy. It don't mean no little spooky dude with horns. It don't mean no grotesque figures coming out of your wall. Devil just mean enemy, adversary, opponent.
Yes.
That's what it means. And anybody that's against your highest good is your devil. So once you
Yeah.
realize that the devil is just the opponent that's fighting against you, do you even know what you're fighting for?
Mm.
If you don't know what you're fighting for, it's easier for them to fight against you because all they got to do now is keep you confused about what you're fighting for.
That's right. And give you a new fight every 6 months. Yeah.
And that's why they want us to come out, march, and protest.
Oh yeah, I told you the new George Floyd is free Palestine. Even though every Congo is burning and genocide is happening, Somalia is happening, but it's free Palestine because that's the new George Floyd. Floyd. They always have these catch. Not to say nothing's happening there. I got to keep saying that, but it's just they do that. They resurrect a new type of theme, you know, so that they can run a psyop on your mind and then they can hold your attention to guide it in the arena that they feel is most suitable for them.
Yeah. So most people think when you say the word false flag, it means it didn't happen and they just acted like it happened. That's not what it means.
No, it happens.
False
Yeah.
flag just means that they took a situation, blew it out of proportion for propaganda warfare
Yeah.
in order for them to compel you to support them in doing some dumb shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which people gladly donate their time to because social
Yeah.
engineering is real,
Yeah.
and with toxic food, hybridized food, chemtrails, things that
That's
kind
why
of, yeah,
I used to tell people, wait till the gossip circle get a hold of this stuff. I'm saying it's gonna be over with because it's gonna fat. It's gonna move faster than the forest fire.
yeah, yeah,
Because now they got something to gossip about with receipts.
yeah.
Oh man, look at here. What did he say you had to tell Sarah? And she told Carol. Then the story rolled on just like a wheelbarrow. Carol told Easy what he thought she heard, and somehow Easy E got the word. And he told somebody I knew from uptown, and they called me up and put me down. Now the whole damn story's been changed around.
That's how it goes, right? Right through the remember the walkie-talkies we used to have? They were called cups, paper cups, and you just put a string across, and
Yeah,
then go across the word, and no message was ever the same.
no. Or you ever see them do the whisper in one person's ear, and then when they get to the end, the statement is totally different.
But it don't even match whatever it started off with. Yeah, classic.
But you know, there's a contingency for that.
What?
You count the number of people,
Mm-hmm.
and you listen to what the last person said, and you know that's not the right answer. Deductive reasoning. You look at the condition of the people that's talking. If you know all of the people, you know what the original statement was that got
Oh, you're
twisted out of
right.
proportion.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
The
absolutely.
only way it don't work if you don't know the people.
That's true. Because if oh, Susan, she likes to elaborate. She likes to expound a lot. She likes to add a lot of embellishment. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Tom, he want to make everybody gaslit, so he gonna add something to the mix. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't want to hold you too long, Rod, because I like to be a good host. But I would like to answer, if you'd like to answer questions, if you'd like to.
let's go.
A couple. A couple? Okay. So I'm gonna, if I can, I'm gonna ask for our amazing everyone. Thank you for everyone. Everyone's excited. You're here. So if you have any questions, I'm gonna add you to the mix. We're only gonna do a few. So let me add you to the live, and I just ask that you ask one question. Because again, if we want to get at least 2 or 3 people in, and ask Rod a question while he's here. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta add it. Okay. Now, if you come in, let me get a waiting room. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I didn't put a waiting room. Let me put a waiting room in here, because then everybody will come in and just pop in. Hold on. With you. Let me put a waiting room. There we go. Okay. Then I'll put it. So come in. Don't be shy. Oh, darn it. It's too long. Hold on. Mon Dieu, mon Dieu, mon Dieu. Alors, hold on, y'all. I put in too long a link. Sorry.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to go back to the question about the National Guard. So
Please, please.
the Republic, when the Republic comes to the reestablishing and the purging of the deep state, before they can get rid of the police, which is a foreign military occupying force, they had to secure the land with the National Guard, so we don't need the police because the police work for the Crown of England. They don't work for us. The judges don't either. So all of them going to eventually have to be shut down too, right? And this is why you seeing they got these people from the Department of Justice putting all of the cities on public notice, right? Because they haven't been following the Constitution. And according to the Declaration of Independence, we got a right to dissolve the government if they failed to uphold the Constitution. They failed to uphold the Constitution, and now the tribes are actively dissolving the constitutional government,
Mhm.
right? And the reason why they picked 19, it's a sacred seal Islamic reference. The sacred seal means the final stamp, Alpha and Omega, because it's only
Interesting.
9 numbers.
I didn't know that. All right. We have our first person. That's Aqua. She's coming on in. Coming in, Aqua. Hey, Aqua. Hey, C Star. Looking cute.
Hey,
Look
hey,
at my
Frank.
bridge. See my bridge. Hey, sweetie, how you doing?
Hey, Chief Ron. Oh my gosh, I'm finally going here because I couldn't ask the question the last time because they wouldn't let me in.
Okay, well let's ask the question this time then, since they let you in.
I know, right? My question is, okay, um, I don't know if you ever got asked this, but this is for my family. So on my family side, my matriarch side, we are Lakota and Sioux Indian, and
Mm.
or Sioux. But I knew that since I was younger, but I do not know a lot about because we are my ancestors are Chief Sitting Bull. So I don't know a lot about Sitting Bull.
So Sitting Bull actually reincarnated as Christopher Wallace, aka the Notorious B.I.G.
Mm.
And the reason why Tupac Amaru reincarnated as Tupac Amaru Shakur was publicly lashing him, he had to agree to it first. He publicly lashed him because in the history, Sitting Bull waited until the enemy had overrun him before he notified the rest of the chiefs. And he used to like to sit in his chair. If you Google childhood pictures of Biggie
Hmm.
or just type in Biggie Small sitting, you're going to see all these pictures of him sitting down in the chair. And then when you look up his zodiac sign, you're going to find out he was a Taurus, the bull, right?
Hmm.
Now, the original Sitting Bull was a war chief, but he's only authorized to go to war if it's signed off by a peace chief. And the history they gave us was just enough where we barely recognized the energy when he returned. So they playing Biggie and Tupac is playing out this East Coast West Coast entertainment story to show you a historical return of an energy. Um, like ODB was using the Chief Crazy Horse energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Geronimo was Geronimo Pratt, right? And it's a whole bunch I can name. I can name at least 100 of them. But we all had to go into this amnesia.